Okay, after Greg was done talking live on stage, one of the next things they did was they had Sky Does Minecraft come up on stage and perform a live Minecraft parody for the audience. And the fact that they're performing a live parody is a little odd. I mean, unless you're a Weird Al fan, you don't see parodies done live too often. But not only was it a parody, but it was a brand new parody meant to be premiered here at MineCon. Immediately after their performance, I think they had it available to watch on YouTube, but everybody at MineCon got to see it first, and I thought that was pretty cool. Overall, they did a nice job with the performance. I know watching it right now, you're hearing me talk over it, and it's really soft in the background. But trust me, that's for the best, because my camera audio isn't all that great, and it sounded much better in person than it does playing back on my computer. If you really want to look for it, I'm sure you can find better video and audio of this performance on YouTube already. There were probably hundreds of MineCon videos already uploaded by the time I got home from vacation. So yeah, if you want to find it, it's out there. But after this performance, there wasn't really anything else that happened that I wanted to show off before they actually let us into the convention hall. And when they let us into the convention hall, the first thing you see is this giant floating cube, video screen cube. And it's a booth where people combined quantum physics, I think, with Minecraft. I have no idea why. I didn't care enough to really find out either, but they made a kind of a big deal about it. And it was, again, the first thing you see when everybody was walking through, and then off to the right, behind where the cube was, you see the giant statue and everything that Greg made. The first thing I was looking for was the Minecade booth. That was the thing I was most interested in seeing as far as the different booths and companies that were set up there. There's the cube I mentioned, and everybody walking in trying to film and not get run over or walk into something, and the statue off in the distance there. One thing you saw all the time was people in costume. I can't believe people wanted to make these costumes, take the time to do it, but then be uncomfortable the entire time they're at the convention because they had to wear it the whole day. But yeah, people did. It was kind of cool. Why, thank you. Okay.
I think I broke your camera.
No, I didn't take a picture of it yet.
Did you see it?
That was Mac right there, who had hit my camera as I was trying to film bits and pieces of the Minecraft experience that Greg made. This is probably the one thing I wasn't all that impressed by that he did. I mean, these little models of different terrains in Minecraft really look like something I could have made if I really wanted to put some effort into it, but I guess a lot of people found it interesting. To me, it's not all that impressive. But he did all kinds of other amazing things, which I will show you later. So I'm not trying to dog Greg, because no, he really is amazing, and some of the things that he did really is responsible for what made the MineCon experience so amazing for everybody. So yeah, and at this point, again, Mac was there, so I had obviously found Zach. He called me when he arrived, and they arrived a few hours late, but we did manage to meet up, and he got recognized a few times. Here's one of those times. Zach Scott's moment in the spotlight right here. He got recognized. Okay, when we first walked into the convention hall, off to the left we saw a whole bunch of computers set up where they were doing various games of Hunger Games, walls, and parkour courses. These guys right here were commentating over the various games. They had a setup where they could just toggle between whichever game was about to start. They would commentate over that game until it ended, then start all over on a new game. And they did that all day. That had to take quite a bit of stamina. That's, again, the big statue they had built by Greg and his team, and a lot of people got photo ops there. There's the cube where the quantum physics guys were, and yeah, there was more people there than I expected, because I didn't think many people would actually be able to grasp what they were talking about. But over here, when we first walked in, this was still being built. It's a little Lego guy people were getting pictures taken on. That didn't impress me at all. I mean, come on, it's just flat laying on the ground. Build an actual 3D freaking statue. It's Minecraft, for Pete's sakes. This is the barnyard thing Greg had talked about. His team built with him. A lot of the kids really enjoyed this. They get up on horses and cows and get their picture taken. I just thought it was a great job of Greg doing what he said he wanted to do, which was put the people in the game. I thought that was pretty cool. This is a little indie game section they had here where it's not necessarily Minecraft games, but indie developers who want to show off their product and, you know, maybe get a jump start like Notch did with Minecraft. You know, I thought that was really cool of Mojang to do. MCPVP is a company that I've played on their servers a few times. They had a nice little setup there. And then MineCon, which is the thing I was most interested in seeing. And I did get a brief interview with Pablo. Couldn't get Felipe to do it, but here's what I got. Okay, I am Spintown, of course, and this is Pablo, one of the owners of MineCon. He is the person responsible, or one of the two people responsible for all those walls videos that Zach Scott puts up and that I put up. And he has been kind enough to sit down and answer a couple questions for us. Hello.
What's up, guys?
My first question is, how did MineCon get started between you and Felipe? I mean, who did what?
It started out as a survival server like in 2011, and it moved on to being just a simple server to a faction server. Then we moved on to mini games. Right now, we built a bunch of Minecraft mini games, just like walls, set, Supercraft Brothers, Military Defense. But it started out just as a simple server.
Okay, and it grew into what it is today, just from that little server. Okay, I'm actually a GM on the walls, so within the GM community here lately, there's been a little bit of confusion because there used to be two bans, the third one that's permaban, right? And recently, when they go to purchase unbans, they have been allowed to continue to buy them. There's no longer 3 and you're done. So between the GMs, we were curious how many bans is it supposed to be before your permabans you can't get another one?
It's supposed to be 3. The system's supposed to lock you out.
And if it doesn't, we should just keep them banned?
Yeah, it's
okay. Again, I was curious on my part. Within the MineCon community, what do we have to look forward to in 2014?
More mini games. We're going to be also managing Captain Sparkle servers.
Oh, wow.
Sky does Minecraft servers. So, and a lot more content on the MineCon network. We're going to be releasing 2 new games by the end of this year. You might have heard of one. It's Quakecraft.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. That'll be cool.
And the other one is going to be The Bridge.
Okay, I've heard of that one for a while now.
About 6 months, so it should be really fun.
Okay, I know a lot of people are looking forward to that when I hear people talk all the time. More specifically now, because again, I'm a GM for the walls, what do the people over at mcthewalls.com have to look forward to in 2014?
The walls update. We're going to be redefining the walls and the playability, of course, the maps and some of the kids to be more balanced. We're going to have charts telling how many kills each kid has. We're going to have to even them out to give the players a sense of fairness in the game.
Okay, that'd be cool. Something I know some of the people have missed and has been talked about in the forums is the monthly stats that you used to have up there. Are they going to return at any time?
They're going to return with the new version of the walls.
Okay, so when the new update comes out, that'll be it. Okay, that's going to make a lot of people happy, I guarantee it. Well, thanks for your time. I got my right hand held here, but I'll try shaking your hand left-handed.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. The interview with Pablo would have been longer. I had more questions prepared for him and Felipe both, but I was running late to get to the shuttle, which was to take us to Adventure Islands or whatever. We got into that theme park for free because we went to MineCon. And I didn't want to miss that. So, yeah, I had to rush out of there, and then when we got there, I hung out with Brett and Dan more than anybody until we ran into Zach and them. For the first hour or so of the theme park, it was really just me, Brett, and Dan hanging out, riding a few rides and stuff, until Zach, Ashley, Mac, Jesse, Jeff Robro, and Jenny all got there later, because they drove from, I think they went out to eat and then drove over there, while me, Brett, and Dan took the shuttle from the convention center to get there. So, well, we met up, rode some more rides, and we hung out, had a good time. And until about 11 o'clock, when it was time for me, Brett, and Dan to go catch our shuttle. The rest of the gang stayed a little bit longer since they were able to drive there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, mainly because the park was almost empty. It was just people from MineCon there, and you saw people like Dinnerbone, Jeb, and stuff like that just walking around, signing autographs. So yeah, good time by all. The next day, when it was time to go back to the convention center, it was just me, Brett, and Dan who went for day 2, I think. And I didn't see them until the very end of the day, because I had saw pretty much everything on the floor on day 1 that I wanted to see. And day 2, I was trying to take in as many panels as possible. So I really wasn't walking around, and I didn't happen to run into them until the closing ceremonies were about to start. I saw them in line. But the panels, some of them were good, some of them were bad. One of the ones I did find kind of enjoyable was the parodies panel. And when they start talking about copyright and stuff, because I was always curious about how many strikes those guys get from the parodies they do, and all the content matches they're going to get and how they deal with that. And when it came to the question and answer time at the end of the panel, sure enough, somebody brought that up. So here's that.
So the key thing, the first thing is to make sure that you somehow, in some way, refer back to the original song. That's number 1. Number 2, your instrumental needs to be recorded from scratch. So you can't use a karaoke track or anything like that. There are some things out there that make the creation of those instrumentals easy, like MIDI files. From there you can adjust those, move them around, you know, if you want to redo the MIDI, at least you have like a starting base. As far as the copyright stuff, some music labels are more lenient about creating music from their artists than others. One good example of a label that is totally okay with that kind of stuff is Columbia Music. They're very, very okay with that kind of stuff. Others that are not, I'm sure you guys have heard, Sony is kind of a pain in the butt about that. Yeah, exactly. So as soon as I saw that and I was working on my Coldplay parody, I was like, dodge that bullet. Because I put a lot of time and money into it. I was like, ooh, I hope it doesn't get hit. So far it's pretty good. Anything else that you guys need to, about it? Just make sure you refer back to the original work. Also, you need to send a letter to the label company, and they have their addresses, just to let them know that you are making it. You don't need to ask for permission. It's just you send them the letter saying, hey, we're making a parody of so and so. This is what it's about. You can even send the lyrics if you want, just so that they're in the loop. Because one of the big things that companies don't like is being told that someone's doing something without them knowing about it. So if you just let them know, they're usually pretty lenient about that kind of stuff. But again, some labels are like, no.
How many copyright little flags have you guys had in your time, and how have you effectively dealt with them?
Okay, the moment I uploaded my one parody video, the moment I uploaded it and YouTube said, processed, bam, matches third-party content. You got this? 37. Literally every time I do a parody on mine, it comes up as matches third-party content. I have very unfortunately had one DMCA strike that was on a fellow YouTuber's channel, and still feel really terrible, but that's one thing that we cannot, there's no way of planning ahead for a lot of these things. You're understood that you're going to be doing that, but yeah, 37 so far.
About half of every parody that I've put up has gotten what we call a third-party content match, which is different than a DMCA takedown. Third-party content, you're okay. There's no strike against your account. They don't get mad at you. The only thing they do is they make it where you can't monetize it. But that one's okay. Third-party is honestly, it's gonna happen. I've never had anyone take down anything, just third-party content. Yeah.
The other part was, how do you effectively deal with it? As in, is there anything you have to do afterwards? Because one of the things I'm fairly certain that most of us are worried about is having that happen and going, oh no, what do we do now?
Yeah, if you get a DMCA, if you actually get the video taken down and they actually put a copyright strike on you, at that point it's really good if you're with a network, because then you have a support group. If you're a regular old YouTube partner, you're gonna have a bad time, and probably nothing's gonna happen from it unless you're really high up there and you have a rep that you can get with. If you're just with YouTube, you might just have to eat that copyright strike. Yeah, even Captain Sparkles. I mean, so.
So about how much of the song, like note-wise, do you have to change for it to be a legal parody?
That almost always varies from what I've seen. Sometimes I've redone an entire track and changed. I dropped a chunk out of the song, and the only thing that was the same was a little 4-note run. That was the only thing in the song that was the same as the original. It was flagged third-party content immediately. It all has to do with the algorithms and how it catches it that particular day.
To add on to that a little bit, it really depends on the labels and everything and their lawyers, because there's some groups that want to say that if there's one note that's of a song, that's if it's one sound, like if it's one sound that they can track to a song, that's illegal. And there's people that are hardcore about that too in the industry, and it's where it's a whole lot of gray area that you're not the winner in most parts of it.
Is it easier to like make it like I want to do a Minecraft parody, but I don't know, should I like get and find out how to do some light animation, or should I like record it in Minecraft?
Okay. The thing about animation is it takes a long time. I thought I could do it all myself. I wrote the song, I recorded the song, I did the animation from point A to point B. It took me 5 months. 5 months working on it, 2 to 3 hours a day, just in my spare time. So if you can, always try to have your friends help. Find other people to help you animate, to help you make it in the game. In the game's a lot faster, a lot easier. It just depends on what you like.
One of the things I really enjoyed about this parodies panel is that Josh was there, and I've already interviewed him on my YouTube channel a long time ago. So here's another question that he was able to answer on the panel, and if you want, you can go watch my old interview that I did with him way back. So enjoy.
Writing a parody is sounds really simple. It sounds like you can just listen to your favorite song, write some lyrics down, and just hope that it works. But we all kind of have our own methods, our own workflow as far as creating one. And how do you go about doing yours?
Okay, so what'll happen is I'll hear a song that I really, really like. That's where it starts. It's something that a song I can't get out of my head. And then most of the time, I just go straight to, because I do rap music, we call it the hook, everyone. Otherwise known as the chorus. So I'll go there, and a lot of times that's where I try to get the big idea for the song. So once I have that, once I have like the idea of the title and where it's going to go, then I go all the way back to the beginning and I start writing lyrics and matching them syllabically. Is that a good word? Syllabically? Basically what I do, you remember when you were in kindergarten and your teacher taught you how to clap how many syllables are in a word? That is me when I work on a parody. Because with rap, it's so I want to get it like to sound like the rapper that I'm imitating, because I have my own style, but rappers are so different. And so I go and I bounce out syllables, and I just make sure everything fits like word for word. So I fill up the exact same amount of space as the person that wrote the song before me, and then come up with lyrics that match my theme, and hopefully pretty soon after that, then I got a finished product.
Alright, that concludes part 2 of my trip to MineCon. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to upload the final video, part 3, and, well, at least final until maybe next year. Anybody want to send me next year? I am up to accepting donations, because I am sure I'm going to have to fly again if we do it again next year. Please? No? Alright, well, just wait till tomorrow, get the last video.